Alright, in this video we're going to talk about beads in Boondoggles. So, to preface, the majority of the Boondoggle projects that I make are made solely out of the GIMP, the Boondoggle string, and really nothing else. But there are a few that I've made that also incorporate beads as another material. So, I'll start with this one that I made. So here, this was at one point a bracelet, but here I've put these dark blue beads in, and each bead there's this brick stitch, and each bead has 4 pieces of GIMP that run through the bead, and then these 2 white strands on the outside just run across the side of the bead. And so that's this one. I also have this one. This one, all of the strands of Boondoggle are all going through the beads. One bead did break off on this one. I think this Boondoggle somehow got crushed when I was displaying it. And so it's missing one of its beads, but that actually lets you see the 4 strands, or 3 or whatever, that run through each bead. So there's that one. Then I have this Boondoggle. This one is a little bit awkward. It's a very large wall to start. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's a 15 wide wall. And then it's got just random colors for the wall and just random colors of beads inside it there. So my phone camera is at a very low angle, but there's that one. This is another one that's a little bit unique, and the way that this one is unique is I actually bent apart a paper clip to use as a thin wire, and I ran a wire through it. I ran a wire through it. So as you can see, I can bend it straight and it'll retain that shape, or I can curve it up and it will retain that shape. So, and that's because there's a wire running through it. So it's the square stitch, but then there's also these portions which have 3 beads, and the beads are actually only around the wire. The only thing going through the hole in the middle of the beads is the wire, and then the 4 strands of GIMP are just on the outside. So there's that one. I have this one as well. On this Boondoggle, the beads are all holding all the strands of GIMP on the inside of the bead, and it's a 5x1 wall, and then there's these portions with 3 orange beads in it. And then my last 2 are a little bit more unique, and I'll actually pick up my phone. So my last 2 incorporate a little bit of a different technique. This is kind of a different realm of craft making, but you can make these projects with beads that are where you line up beads and then run string through them in such a way that you can make pictures and things out of beads. But so this one, for example, is an attempt, kind of just for fun. I wanted to make 5 diamonds and make them kind of the same or as similar as possible, but have some of the diamonds be made of Boondoggle, and then 2 of the diamonds are the equivalent, but just done with kind of the beaded project. And so I did a lot of adding and removing strands throughout this project, and then for each of the beaded section there's just the 2 yellow strands. So there's only 2 strands of Boondoggle that run all the way from the very top all the way to the very bottom of this project. All the other strands are all added and then taken away at some point in time. So One disadvantage to this, I will warn you, if you try to replicate this project, is that it's a difficult balance between pulling these strings in these beaded portions tight enough, but you have to balance that between having them be too tight. I think I did mine a little bit too tight, and so some of these tend to bow out a little bit and not really be straight. So that's why when I was showing it to you, I kind of flattened it out on this. So anyway, and then this one is a similar concept. So the top and bottom portions are a lot like this one right here, but for this middle portion, or well, the difference is there are some strands that are not tucked into the beads. But anyway, for this middle portion, it's kind of a checkerboard pattern with the red and the blue beads. And again, that's made through looping through. So each one of these rows of 4 beads has 2 pieces of gimp running through it, and they're going in opposite directions, if that makes sense. Now, as you can see here at the top, if you look closely, I have these 2 kind of emergency strands that I added after the fact, because what I realized was the way that I made this, focus. The way that I made this, it was in such a way that if I pulled down on it at all while I was displaying it, say on my backpack or on a keychain, this stitch right here of Boondoggle would start to unravel. And so I had to secure it with these 2 extra strands that I kind of looped around and through in order to have that not happen. But anyway, that is my brief overview of using beads in Boondoggle. I don't really have any recommendations as far as a brand of beads to use. I'll show you my bead kind of collection that I have. I just keep it in this ice cream bucket, but these are the beads that I use. I don't even remember where I got them. I know I say that I don't remember things like a lot in my videos, but I really don't remember where I got these beads. I've just had them for so long, but they're very common in craft making, so you can probably get very similar plastic beads at pretty much any craft store. So, and then I also have some of these gold disc Boondoggle starter things that that I've acquired. But anyway, those are the beads that I use. So thanks, bye.